Hey everybody, Big Jim Mutant CEO. This is the Post-Arnold show. Actually, it's not a show, we're just ripping on a recording here.
Debrief.
And for those of you who don't know, man, this is the dude behind Stacked, not Stack3D like I say sometimes, but Stacked, spelled with a 3.
Spelled with 3.
Shane Smith, all the way from
New Zealand.
There you go.
Yeah.
So you went from New Zealand to America?
This was the first time we went straight. Usually we stop in places on the way.
Right.
But this year we just went straight through.
Right. And so you did something pretty spectacular at the Arnold Expo that I don't think everybody quite understands or even knows about.
I think everyone that went.
Everybody who went saw it.
Yes.
You were a little upset about your carpet.
I was upset. Well, that was only because there was fluffier, spongier carpet elsewhere.
But tell everybody what you did. I mean, it's pretty spectacular, I thought.
So we were asked to do a pavilion section at the Arnold. Originally meant to be roughly 5 brands or so. I hit up a few of my favorites, and 5 became 25, and we were given I guess one of the largest areas on the floor, I would say.
A little larger than Mutants, yes.
A little. I feel it was because
much larger. It was good though.
45 10 by 10s,
right.
Equivalent.
Right.
And everybody got to exhibit to their own special way. And we had some limitations. We didn't want anyone outsizing anyone else, as everyone maybe next to Mutant would have felt.
Mutant was a little large at the expo.
And everyone had to stay to a certain height, a set size. No one could go over 10 by 30.
Right.
But you could do whatever you wanted in the space. And the idea is that collectively all the brands in there just brings in a supplement-heavy sports nutrition, health and fitness crowd. We had ingredient companies, we had a manufacturer in there, we had energy drinks, protein bars. It was kind of intended to be sort of like a flea market or a food court or whatever you want to call it, just of health and fitness.
Well, I think what the benefit you did was you got more brands that otherwise might not have been able to afford or orchestrate maybe doing a booth at the Arnold Expo, because it's not cheap to do these things. So that was the good thing, is that you're able to help all these other brands.
I think a lot of them liked if it makes it a helping hand.
Yeah.
Like a lot of them said this to me, like we would have done it, but we would have been at the back corner. We would have been at the back wall. We might not have been, like they liked having me being, like making sure that they got their needs met. And that was exactly what I was doing.
Yeah, you orchestrated phenomenal placement. Like when you walk right in.
That was the game.
It was like, boom, you saw that right away.
Because they're all used to be put in the back. Because again, if you're a small brand at 10 by 10, 10 by 20, you get thrown to the back. And it's not not unreasonable when you are spending that amount versus someone else. It can make sense, but we were given the opportunity to have the collective spend be treated like a giant activation and get the privileges that way.
Well, even we took advantage of the opportunity.
You did. If you noticed, you were at the front.
I saw, thank you for that. Yeah, we were in the action aisle, if you want to call it that. PVL, our little Canadian brand. Little, yeah. For those of you who aren't in Canada, you have to understand PVL in Canada is arguably the largest specialty sports supplement brand in Canada. I had to
explain this to a lot of people.
I know.
They were like, who's PVL?
Well, what do you tell people when you're talking PVL? Don't take it from me, everybody.
I call them sort of like, because you see PVL online, you see it in all the stores, but you don't entirely grasp it until you see it at a store and you just see the presence it has. And stores, it's almost like, it's probably not the best comparison, but it's almost like the Dymatize of America, PVL being that protein specialist. Yeah. And you dabble in other categories, including pre-workout. But it's just that brand that every Canadian store has to have, I guess, to be a store. Very similar to how in the US or America you get Optimums, Dymatize.
Back in the day, EAS.
Yeah, Ultimate, Animal, just one of those core brands. But in Canada, in most countries, those core brands change. PVL is one of those core ones.
I'm going to correct you on one thing. Animal and Mutant, hold on. We like to think we're the hardcore boys, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't sports, come on.
Yeah, so I would say that, and then when people are asking me like for American, I was like, they have all the tools. They are a giant, and arguably you have less of that legacy competition, I think, in Canada, or at least, I mean, it's not lesser, but there's a smaller variety, I think. But it's relative because of the size.
But I would also say we don't have like 1/10 of that competition.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, that's what
We
I mean,
actually
yeah.
surprisingly do have in Canada. There is a hardcore group, and there's an anchor tenant of half a dozen to a dozen legacy brands up here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
I think you dominate. PVL dominates a little more than I would.
he said it. I did.
I would say that PVL dominates a little more than your legacy brand in the US. Like most legacy brands in the US, I think you have a stronger foothold
Probably
in Canada.
Yeah.
But either way, when you're like you don't know PVL,
Yeah.
it's very difficult to explain.
Well, and this was our coming out party again.
Yes, yeah.
So this was the first time we had taken the PVL brand to the Arnolds. I think since the 2000s, because a little note to some
It was
people.
in the 2000s?
I think I had PVL actually at the Arnolds maybe in '99 or something like that.
Okay. So
But that's okay. It's a whole new millennium, a whole new
I
century.
was still an intermediate, still in the process.
I think you're still in school or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. And no, like I said, it was great to have you guys in there.
Yeah, thank you.
And you had a great showing, plenty of product, and you had that sweet, the jump-in activation.
Shy Ross. Look, if you're not following Shy Ross on Instagram, you got to catch this guy out.
Yeah.
He got world famous. He about a year and a half ago, if I recall correctly at the time, he does a dunk. He dunks the Oreo cookie while doing a flip, and it went viral. It was on ESPN. So if you're not following Shy Ross yet, go follow him. He's a joy. We had him at the booth, and it was a fun challenge.
Yeah.
Like we've done a lot of challenges in booths, and we've seen a lot of other brands over the years do challenges. But what Shy was doing
I was
was
tempted to
way
try
more
it.
interactive, I thought.
But I didn't. My knees weren't ready.
Yeah. So it's a vertical high jump is
Vertical
what they're
jump.
doing. It's like the NFL Combine,
Yeah.
which PVL was just at recently too. But yeah, I was talking with Shy later each night, and I said, "How are your knees?" And he goes, "That's a lot of jumping to do." And when somebody actually beats
Yeah.
him, then they go into a showdown match, and so you get to go head to head with one of the top vertical jumpers.
There were a couple guys that got pretty high, but like,
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't give it a go. I wasn't confident.
No, I wasn't gonna. You know, my name is Thud, so I can't jump. So tell me also about first time ever at the Arnolds that I can recall that somebody had the big sponsorship above Mutant and a few others, but somebody scooped the awesome title of the head sponsor for the Arnold Sports Festival.
The entire thing.
The festival, not just the classic, which is the bodybuilding.
All the expo,
Yeah.
all
So
the strongman. It was the overarch.
so I'll let you tell everybody who it was and go for it
Yeah,
from
it's
there.
KSM Ashwagandha, KSM 66.
Can't forget the
I
66.
always leave out the 66.
You can't. It's KSM
KSM
66.
Ashwagandha was the title sponsor, and I thought it was a great turnout for them. Like they wanted to show support, get deeper into the sports space, and what better place to do it than
Agreed.
the show where more supplement companies, buyers, distributors are. And it's the first one of the year, first big show of the year. And I think you couldn't have asked for a better presentation. He had Ronnie Coleman at his booth,
Yeah.
Jay Cutler, the man himself, Arnold Schwarzenegger. He presented awards.
Yeah.
I definitely think that it hit in all the areas that they were looking for. And hopefully it encourages more ingredient companies. Because, Creepier was there as well.
Creepy. Yeah. We're a long time with Creepier, so I had a great
New
couple
Live,
sessions with them.
Compound, Nutrition 21 was in our area. You had Concrete as well,
Yeah.
opposing side to Creepier.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Because Concrete does their brand as well.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, so they were.
I know the guys at Concrete.
Yeah, so if you're looking towards the entrance from your booth, Concrete was still there, Creepier was to the far right.
Okay, because I was in the Creepier booth having a great old time because I've known those guys
You would have been a far away.
since again when you were in high school. I've been in Creepier since before there was a trademark in '98.
But I think it's great having these guys there
Yeah.
because it slows things down. I think people stop, they take in.
Well, it legitimizes too. I mean,
Yeah.
part of the supplement industry wrongly gets vilified because of a few bad players.
Yeah.
And I like it when good players show up. And so when KSM 66 is there and Creapure is there and Nutrition 21 with nitrosogen and velocitol and things like that, there's a lot of science.
Yeah.
That's the point. It's not just ingredients. These are multiple, can I say it again? Multiple backed up, studied ingredients.
Yeah.
It's not one-offs.
I mean, I think it's a testament, like the brands that people trust, they then inherently trust the ingredient companies.
Oh, exactly.
So to see them there, I think it would be cool to get obviously even more, but I think keeping it relative, that was in our area, we had 3, and that was my limit. I didn't want too many, but I think having them throughout is just, again, it authenticates the space. Hopefully it puts that on the consumer's radar.
Yeah.
When they have an ingredient to look for, and it doesn't mean that they need to stick to one brand, and
Yeah.
you can educate them that level.
Well, internally for us, just to pull back the curtain a little bit on manufacturing and how you come up with formulas, just for a second, is like, we get emails every day. I get emails every hour from various raw material suppliers asking this, that, and the other thing. I go, good Lord, there's just so much bull crap out there. And I go, unless you've got an ingredient that has more than one study, again, I hate the one study wonders that hit me on the end. Hey, we got a study. And I go, well, whoop-de-doo, Basil. Until you've got like 5 or 6 in the can, you don't have much.
It costs a lot of money. So I do appreciate those guys that go through that effort.
It's got some, when you go look at the Creapures and things like that. And
they're not cheap.
No, nitrosogen especially.
Yeah.
Like, don't bust me on my 5-year nitrosogen odyssey. Only been loving the ingredient from 6 years ago, and they finally got around to making a product with it. But when they send you a 62-page report of all of their studies, and those studies start to get into the the teens, if not the 20s, you've got something that's bankable, repeatable, and then what we're able to do, we're able to take some of those ingredients. We got the lab upstairs, which I'll show you a little later, but then we take them over to Ron's gym.
Test them out.
And we do beta testing at Ron's gym, West Coast Iron. Like, we're not screwing around here. And so if Ron or Dusty or Sean Clarita, we just can't tell you what the product was, but I sent it to Sean Clarita, 2-time 212 Mr. Olympia. I said, Sean, do you like it? And how did it work? He goes, fuck, that's great.
It had nitrosogen in it?
I can't tell you which one this was just yet, but everybody will find out probably in about 4 months.
Can I take some guesses?
You can take some guesses.
I'm only going to guess that it's a pump supplement.
No, it's not the pump supplement.
It's not a pump supplement.
No. Sorry, I kind of misled you. I jumped from nitrosogen into a different category, and I forgot to tell you just right there. So we're not even in that category.
It's not a pump product, and it includes Nutrition 21. You don't have to say that.
I'm not saying anything.
You have to deny it.
I will deny it. That's what the lawyers say until you're in front of the court,
And it's a product that he was able to test out in the gym.
Anyways, moving on. So the KSM 66, great ingredient.
Yeah. It was good.
And thank you for introducing me to the owner many months ago.
Yeah.
And so we've known of Kartikeya. He's the owner from India, great guy. I got to spend time with him on Saturday. I was busy at our booth doing something, and then Brian came and tapped me on the shoulder. That's Arnold's business partner, Brian. Hey, come over here. Yeah, it's coffee time. Thank you, Roberta. Thanks, Kyle, for getting that. All right, bro. You can come say hi to everybody if you want. Anyways, cheers. This is God's energy drink, apparently.
I mean, like I said, I started drinking coffee 6 months ago.
Right.
It's a hit or miss thing, right?
Yeah.
I think this is why people spend so much time trying to get the right place.
I can't get my mornings going until I've got that first cup of Joe. Like, when I wake up in the morning, sometimes I've got like 20 text messages. You want some sweetener?
Yeah, yes, please.
Really? That's coffee. So for those of you who now know you can't send Shane just coffee flavored stuff. It's got to be sweet coffee flavored stuff.
Look, I mean, but I know what it tastes like.
And you don't like the taste.
But no, like, so over the years, after all the things we've tried, there are a lot of flavors that I inherently don't like.
Right.
But I can judge them because I know what it's meant to taste like. So if you gave me some coffee drink that I thought was nice, I'd be like, I don't think coffee drinkers are going to like this.
Right.
But if it's something that I don't like, I'd be like, you know what? I think they might like this.
Yeah.
It's just Coffee's just not my thing.
Well, we did sorry, we're all over the map. That's what we do here, so we'll figure this out later. We'll come back to KSM 66 at some point. But on the coffee thing, we did, everybody knows in Canada, we've got a huge coffee brand called Tim Hortons. And so a few years ago, like they got a summertime drink like most coffee shops do. And so there's this called an ice cap. And so we did an ice cap inspired flavor. And it was off the charts delish. The only challenge is that's an expensive flavor to do, by the way, just so you know, because you're using real coffee. And I know people think coffee is cheap, but not when you're putting in enough of it to actually hit the right coffee note, the right coffee flavor. So we try not to use Franken flavors all the time, as I like to call them.
I don't know how many I'm meant to use.
Of what, the sweetener?
She gave me 5. So
I think you're at your max limit right now. I don't think you're, oh my Lord. The very first time, like I'm going back like about 20 billion years ago, the very first time we had the artificial sweetener, sucralose, come into our facility, I was sitting there with one of our sales guys, buddy Bert. Hey Bert, hopefully you're watching this. And you know, sweeteners usually come in those packets, right? Well, and that packet would be like, you know, 19 parts carrier and 1 part sweetener.
Yeah.
And so I had a packet that size of the 100% pure sucralose. And
is that what that is? What is
no, that's
not?
That's
I have no
typical.
idea.
Yeah. But Bert didn't know that I had a pure sucralose. He thought it was a packet that had been watered down. So he put the whole packet in his drink. And he had like a 20 times load of sweet.
Oh, that's better.
Is that good?
You can barely taste the coffee.
Oh my. Why bother then, right?
Because you need some caffeine, and it's a traditional thing for people to ask, do you want a coffee? No one ever asks, hey, you want Monster Ultra? Do you want an energy drink?
Hold on.
My bad, we can cut that out later.
Can't say Monster on my show, motherfucker.
My bad. Do you want a Red Bull? Is that better?
I'm good with Red Bull.
Okay. Do you want a Red
I'm
Bull?
even better with Celsius.
Do you want a Red Bull? Do you want a Celsius? No one ever asks that. It's tradition,
Yeah.
and especially in other parts of the world, to just be like, do you want a coffee? No one ever. I told you when I was in China,
Yeah.
it wasn't, do I want a coffee? What kind of coffee do you like?
Exactly.
That was when I realized, I'm like, oh damn.
Okay, so let me ask you.
drink this.
So you being a Kiwi, which is somewhat related to UK.
You should-
Do you have tea?
You should.
I want to know if you have tea in the afternoon.
My association with New Zealand
Okay, here we go.
Is
I'll open it up again.
is about as, yes,
Call 911. I'm about to get hit.
I don't really know what sells in New Zealand. I don't know the rules. I don't know the regulations. It's where I was born, but like, I don't watch rugby. I definitely don't watch cricket. So when someone said to me, "Oh, is this brand available in New Zealand?" I was like, "I have no idea, dude. I'm there like months out of the year, and I buy Mutant, ISO Surge."
Because those cheap pricks won't send it to you for free, I bet.
No, just because I know how much it costs to ship.
You don't.
No.
All right.
So I always stock up, and it's usually like, in terms of when it comes to like quality isolate, like yes, you can get really good blends around the world. Like you got Cytec, Biotech in Europe. You've got MuscleTech and Diamatize, but in terms of isolate,
Yeah.
ISO Surge and
So I want everybody to hear
Very
this
cute.
too. So you're from New Zealand, which means you have access to a lot of New Zealand whey, and yet you're buying the Canadian ISO Surge. Oh, we got a little drip here. Hey, Roberta.
not so good.
Oh yeah, I just saw it there. Yeah, it wasn't you, buddy. Can we?
Oh, it wasn't closed properly.
Yeah,
My bad.
are you all right now?
We're good.
All
We're good.
right. All right, and take 2. But you like the ISO Surge flavor and the way it mixes, I guess, is what you're.
As far as I know, the New Zealand way benefits are that it's from New Zealand, right?
I think it's the Rolexes that the cows wear.
Yeah. So like, it's the
I'm
purity.
kind of kidding, but yeah.
It's sort of like, I guess it would be like if you got like Wagyu beef to some extent.
Well, that's if you're eating the beef.
It's not even that far, is it?
No. I on that tangent, I think what some people misunderstand is that the whey protein is a byproduct that's about 10 steps removed from the milk anyways.
Yeah.
So whatever benefit that the milk had in terms of being grass-fed versus being grass-fed some of the time.
Yeah, like it's
all gone.
But
It's been processed out.
It was when someone told me about it, because I'd never heard of it
Yeah.
anywhere else. I know native whey. I like the concept of that.
Yeah.
I will pay more for that, but
Yeah.
I've never like.
Well, and we buy in New Zealand. Don't get me wrong. We buy from Fonterra. We buy from quite a few places. But one thing I've learned over 30 years of doing this, when it comes to the New Zealand way, there's nothing against it, nothing wrong with it. But I kind of laugh at the people who then come and say, well, the reason why we buy it is because it's better for the planet. And I'm like,
Is it?
well, that's what I say. Really? How do you think it's better for the planet? I'm not saying it's not, but I go, how do you think it's better for the planet?
Does the food make them fart less?
I have no idea. But here's my comeback.
Might be a good one.
As I said, I'm sitting up here in North America. Point on the globe to me where New Zealand is.
Dude, I went to.
And you got to ship it from New Zealand to get it to North America. How eco is that?
I like. We're gonna bring it back.
I still buy lots from Fonterra.
We've been to bring it back around to KSM. When I visited their office,
Let's do that.
India, at a world map. Guess which country was not on there?
Really?
So it wasn't like a world.
Hey, if New Zealand wasn't on, then Tasmania wasn't either.
No, Australia was there.
No,
So
Tasmania.
I mean, I'm pretty sure we're bigger than Tasmania. No,
I think so too.
Yeah. So no, it wasn't a printed map. It was a like a 3D.
Right.
So they had each thing was cut out and placed in to make it, and it was just a custom wall.
Right,
So they
right.
had printed these plastic acrylic things and stuck them to the wall.
Right.
Which was why I said to them, I was like, dude, but how did you leave us off? You would have it's not like you print like the smaller islands. I get,
Yeah.
but I felt like we were a little more. I felt like we were important.
Right. Well, I'll give you a news bomb right now. Even though we're not on your show, but you can put this on your show.
I will.
So, first we're talking about KSM 66.
Oh yes.
Okay. So, we've already been working on these formulas before the whole introduction. And, one of the massive advantages of the KSM 66 is the fact that it's 100% from the root. And I know not everybody's going to agree with this, but again, we have to investigate our ingredients very closely. So I'm not going to name other brand names of ashwagandha. But one of the aspects about ashwagandha, again, we love the bankable, repeatable studies, not the one-offs.
They got like 17, 6. They got
I lost count. They got a lot.
gold standard studies is what it calls them.
Exactly. And so when you're getting the authentic root and not roots and leaves or leaves only, and when it comes to ashwagandha, that is, what you're looking for is the root. But you were already investigating ashwagandha anyways, because I use it, quite a few other people use it, and there's multiple uses for it too. A lot of people use it just for mellowing out and chillaxing, right? A lot of people use it for testosterone boosting. It's not going to replace your drugs, don't get me wrong. But if you want to stay natty, if you want to optimize what you got natty, it's one of those things that can help you. So there's a lot of uses for it. So both of our top brands, PVL and Mutant, actually have here. We're not going to show this on camera.
Yeah.
But I want you to look at Shane's face here.
Are you showing me a formula or are you showing me a picture?
I'm going to show you the picture. There's a lot of pictures here from the Arnold. I mean, there's a lot going on there.
I saw that there.
Okay. Got it?
Yeah.
With KSM 66.
Oh, God damn it. I should have turned it around. Ian had it on the table.
What do you think of them bad apples?
I knew of that product. I didn't know KSM was in there.
Yeah. So yeah, and then we gave it feature. Here.
You're gonna? Oh, I don't know. I don't think you're gonna.
That's about all I can show right now. Is just that. So.
You guys had that on display at the Arnold, didn't you?
No, we actually didn't. We had it under our trench coat.
There was a tub on the table.
You weren't paying enough attention.
I have a picture on my phone.
Well, don't show anybody this yet. But yeah, if you were at the Arnold, you would have seen this top secret product.
You might have seen it.
Yeah, so we're working on at least 2 products for sure. And yes, there's a few more. And so 2 of them are coming out pretty fast, actually. So you'll get some new KSM 66 products.
In time for FIBO?
No, probably not in time for FIBO in Germany.
Okay.
Yeah. But they'll definitely be in time for
That was the other thing I heard, was that
for beach time.
Europe has difficulties, well, not difficulties, has rules against leaves and roots.
Yeah, and that's another thing is like, again, it's not just our opinion. And when you get into Ayurvedic medicine, which is where ashwagandha and curcumin, turmeric come from, a lot of the Ayurvedic medicine is based on the root of ashwagandha. Yeah. And so again, that's another reason why the leaves aren't being appreciated by those in the medical field and then those in the regulatory field. And then so to your point, which we've learned, many jurisdictions, especially in Europe, are actually now banning the leaf extract altogether.
I think it was leaves for tea and then was okay for tea.
Right.
But then obviously for anything supplementation-wise, like in the powder, capsules and stuff, it was root only. Yeah. I only just learned that like a few months back. Yeah.
And there's a lot of good ashwagandha products out there.
Oh yeah.
And we're going to use some of the ones that are like that, but we're going to be using it in a few stacks. It's as simple as that. So the cat's a little bit out of the bag on that one.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So how was the rebrand received?
Well, first of all, Shane.
I knew you were going to say this.
We don't call it a rebrand.
Okay. Sorry. The transformation, the evolution.
Reawakening.
The reawakening.
The whole mutant brand has always been there. We've kind of not really lit it on fire.
You've never tweeted this much.
Well, this isn't even a tweet. This is just
that's what I'm saying. Like,
just reawaken the giant that's
you've
lurking.
Never altered it.
Yeah.
Anywhere, like I think the like the maroon to yellow that you had to what was recently. Well,
but those are frickin' Fruity Tooty frickin' label changes. Who gives a shit about Fruity Tooty?
This was your brand.
I don't give a shit about no Fruity Tooty label. Let other brands do Fruity Tooty label changes. But this is a goddamn reawakening, motherfucker.
You've had the shifts, but nothing as large as this.
No.
By any stretch of the imagination, it was like a...
Have you seen anything transform quite like this? Like an evolution or a reawakening? Like,
not in a good way. I've seen people make big changes.
We both have very recently, and thank God that brand you and I both like, thank God they did a 180 on the idea. That was going to be, in my opinion, a train wreck.
I think there were a few that changed quite a bit.
Yeah. And why do they do it? They do it for the sake of change.
But they were doing it, I think a lot of it is based on comments to be like, maybe you don't resonate, or maybe we want something different, and then they take it too far, whereas you guys just did it on your own, I think.
Well, not actually. I'm glad we fooled you then.
That's the best part, yeah.
Yeah. No, the reason why, I'm not trying to be cute when I say a reawakening, because what we saw, not just this industry, every industry, when brands go and do a rebranding or a refresh, did they even give pause to think and ask questions, do some research, make it objective based as opposed to subjective opinion based? We took over 14 months to get to this point.
I can see that.
And so we didn't do it on opinion. It wasn't even art or label changes. This was like, no, what does mutant already stand for that we're not loud enough about? And so that's why I call it a reawakening. It's like we have this slumbering, mutated giant of a behemoth there, and we haven't really empowered it to go out and thunderously, boldly stomp all over the joint here.
You didn't really have any symbolization with it, if that's a word, but you had, now you have characters for it, which inherently is what a mutant is.
Yeah.
So I think it was...
Well, Rich Piano was one fuck of a character, I'll tell you that.
Oh, yeah. He might even resemble some of the ones that...
I think he might, yeah. But no, this wasn't just a brand refresh that we've seen typically in every industry, and especially this industry. And that was my point. I'm not trying to hold us out to be better, but I do want to make sure that people see that it is unique.
I think everyone's going to see that.
Yeah, okay, good.
I think instead of rebrand, I would say reinforcement.
I'm going to stick with my Star Wars theme and say the reawakening. I like bigger words, apparently.
Yeah, because I think rebrand, like you said, it applies to someone who changes the font, but it also, what you did was, you repositioned, you evolved, you reevaluate. You did everything.
We made it louder for what it really is. And we got rid of the stuff that it really wasn't. So we've uncluttered it, is the best way I could put it, I think. But anyways, I'm glad you liked it. And so to answer your question, I think the reawakening of the brand went very, very well at the Arnold Classic. If you weren't at the Arnold Classic, oh my Lord, it wasn't just the booth, and it wasn't just the entrance, and it wasn't just this. I mean, you almost couldn't
He had you on windows. He had you in all the way through to the Hyatt, if I'm not mistaken. You were there.
We were in the world famous second floor bar at the Hyatt.
Yeah, you were still there on Monday when I left.
Yeah. So, sorry, every other brand on the planet, you had to have mutant shoved in your face when you're at the Hyatt, but that's the way it is.
Do you think...
You're going to have to edit that one out, eh? Again, about the culture of bodybuilding and the culture of hardcore is we're not pretenders or posers. I mean, it's real. So the one end of our booth, we had the It's Just Bodybuilding podcast crewed by Scott McNally with, of course.
That's where the couch was, right?
Yeah. So with Big Ron Parlow at Rep 300 and Dusty Hanshaw. So the three of them have the It's Just Bodybuilding podcast going. And man, I got to tell you, I'm so proud of Ron and Dusty over the years, and then having them introduce me to Scott here the last couple of years. Those three guys got a podcast that's going on for the hardcore cult. So they rip on the bull. They had so many guests come in and out of that. And we had a good time there. And so if you ever get a chance to pop around, we don't do the podcast in the fishbowl so nobody can hear us. It's interactive and it's open access. And we're not behind closed windows trying to hide from everybody. So it's more fun that way.
And you had the legendary, the bag hold.
The legendary bag hold. Like Roberta, when you get a chance, can you find what the winners get on the bag hold? You know what I'm talking about?
The mass challenge bag?
Yeah, you know what we get?
Yeah.
So yeah, we do the challenge.
Here's the answer.
Oh, he's got...
They get a gym bag?
No, I need the thing. Yeah.
Oh, wait, they got...
the big thing.
There was a belt? Oh, man, I would have entered.
Well, that's the thing. So when you come to the mutant booth.
How long have you been doing that? That's not... Did you just do that at this show?
No.
When did you... I hadn't seen that before.
See, that's what I'm saying. It's a reawakening. We got a lot of things going on. We just got to get them louder.
Damn.
Yeah, damn is right.
Yeah. When did... Because obviously the brand evolved, transformed, and reawakened.
Yeah.
Did you think about modifying the challenge?
Yes. We're not there yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, it would be cool to have...
We're open to ideas.
Something.
Yeah.
Because that everybody has tried and replicate that.
Yeah.
They've done it once, they've done it twice, but Mutant's the only one, as far as I know, that no matter the size of the booth, that's there.
Yeah. And before we had it's the iron across kind of gymnastic. Yeah. So you have the 15-pound bags and you're standing there for as long as you can. And it's
just a FYI, my daughter did it.
Oh, yeah, really?
So the last Arnold UK, so not the one coming up. So it wasn't last year, 2022. She saw people doing it and she was like, I want to do it. And I was like, dude, you're shorter than the bags. So she was 3 at the time. And so she rolled up and I think they brought out one of the smaller ones and she got to hold it out front. Yeah. That was like a cool 5 seconds or whatever. But I just liked that it resonated with her. She didn't need to ask. Yeah. She saw what they were doing. She saw what they were struggling at. Yeah. She wanted to give it a go.
Well, it's one of the simpler challenges we could do in the booth, and you're not going up on a chin-up bar, which we used to do that. We used to have a hell of a time with the chin-up bars.
Everybody does the chin-up bar, right?
Well, we always gave away the chin-up bar. We actually had a super. If you're ever lucky enough to come by our booth on a Sunday way back in the day, we'd be giving away the squat rack with the chin-up bar at the end. Like we weren't shipping this thing back.
I was gonna say you'd shave on.
Somebody want a $1,000 squat rack? Yeah. So this is when you come to the mutant booth and you do the challenge at our booth. This is what you're competing to win.
Is that over the whole weekend? Or
the whole weekend, yeah. A men's champion and a women's champion.
What if they come? Do you get the address and stuff?
Screw that, man. You gotta be there. Don't you want to take that bad boy on the plane?
Holy shit, it's actually heavy.
Yeah.
Whoa.
At Mutant, we don't frickin' mess around here, man. We're having fun. That's the thing we stand for. Listen, life's too short. Don't choose to be confused. It's all about consistency and discipline. Get your ass to the gym, feed the machine, and then number 3, you gotta have a little fun. So,
This is no joke.
yeah, no joke.
No wonder you don't have like one for each day.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, these things do cost a little bit to
that's
pull them
heavy.
off. Yeah,
That's like 10 pounds,
yeah.
give or take.
Well, yeah. So we like to fuck.
was quite
We
heavy.
like to fuck with people when they're taking their luggage to the
was
airport.
gonna say.
And if this pops them over the 50 pounds, they got to unpack their luggage. So we get exposure in the airport while they're rooting through their luggage.
Surely you can put that on as a belt.
I'm waiting for somebody to walk through like rodeo or Elvis. That's what I'm waiting for.
No, yeah, I was going to say, like, go through just, oh, this doesn't need to be checked. I'm going to wear this on the plane. Surely you can count as a belt, right? It is inherently a belt.
You know, that gives me an idea. Because you know what Arnold gave me?
He gave you a sword.
Did you? I got
The Conan sword.
I got
if I'm not
a
mistaken.
Conan sword
Yeah.
directly from Conan himself.
Was it? I thought it was from the set.
I can't
I
attest.
thought it was a real one.
I
thought it
don't
was
know
from the
yet.
set. I thought it was a set prop.
I was in stun mode when Arnold
Like, I didn't tell
says,
you
"Come over here."
because I knew about it.
So my point is, I'm going to be wearing the sword when I walk on the plane next time. I'm just wearing this,
I
man.
think the belt you can get away with. I think a sword probably might get some trouble.
Have you ever had some of the hard cheese on some of those plates on the plane? You might need to cut.
I just feel like they might stop you with a sword.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's too bad. All right, here, Roberta. Thank you. Watch your arm. You might grow an inch by carrying that thing.
I'm going
All right.
to the gym.
There you go. We're going to the gym too later. We're gonna show you West Coast. We're gonna show you West Coast Iron.
Hell yeah.
You know, the home of Big Ron Partlow,
No, you.
and another athlete we're about to announce soon too. Yes, we have another new athlete added to the roster.
Another mutant.
Another mutant.
Bodybuilder?
I hate to do this again, everybody. Can't show you just yet.
Just show me. Is it a bodybuilder?
Yeah,
They gotta be Canadian, right?
I'm not telling you where they're from, but I
Well, you can't. Oh no, you're not limited to Canada, are you?
we're everywhere.
I don't want to throw out guesses.
No, we can't do that. Oh,
I still
Lordy.
thought the guy nicknamed the mutant would have been a killer one.
We can't go there right now. Tell me what that do.
I mean, I don't know his name, but Jesus Christ, that dude is huge.
We're announcing that this week.
Shit.
Yeah. That's a mutant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he doesn't walk around in the underwear at the gym all the time.
Should.
Yeah, he should.
I would.
Yeah. So yeah, when are we doing that announcement?
So this week.
Probably Thursday or Friday.
This week or next week?
This one.
Oh, so we're recording this. What day is today? Tuesday? Today's Tuesday, right after the Arnolds. That's why we're all a little brain fogged.
I'm good.
Maybe we should have some of the new mutant. Can you make us up some mindfuck?
Wait, are we going to the gym?
Well, no, you don't need to. We use this for sales. I'm not kidding you.
What do you mean?
Well, you know your fellow Kiwi, Brent, our VP of sales.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. He uses this without even going to the gym.
No, I'm not saying that. Look, so I had some caffeine this morning.
But there's
because-
you gotta remember, this is no
Oh,
caffeine.
they're caffeine free.
Yeah, this
shit.
this has got the paraxanthin. This is caffeine involved.
No. Okay, I still feel like that might. I feel like your body can only receive so many jolts a day. I don't know if that's true or not.
Well, here.
Can I save this?
Well, sure.
I want to use
But
it.
I want one.
Absolutely.
No, yeah. Well, I'm not going to dry scoop.
Okay, you want to try
You're
it?
not?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
What, you think I am Rich Piana?
You do the water. It's not dry. You put the water in, then you drop the
It's
scoop.
against the law to have people dry scooping, just so you know.
It's not dry scooping.
It's dry scoop.
You put the water in.
It's a choking hazard. Can't advise that.
You put the
It's a
water.
regulatory legal thing.
Then you put the scoop in.
Can't advise
And it's a
that.
bowl in your mouth.
You can't. I'm okay. And I know this firsthand because I almost choked as a child doing that with hot chocolate. I was dry scooping at 5. I was dry scooping before any of you tried it.
What flavor you want to try?
Whatever flavor we want to do. Okay, we'll do the peach.
I already had something when I woke up, and then I had the coffee.
Right.
I like to
So
save
here,
my caffeine.
I'll give you the science of it.
Okay.
So when you take caffeine,
Yeah.
if you want the buzz, and I mean the flying high, spastic, you're just going hard like that. That kind of buzz is from a different down chemical.
Do you not think that the other one would take away from the other? If you had caffeine in the morning and then you had paraxanthine,
No.
or you had paraxanthine in the morning and then paraxanthine later, do you think they wouldn't affect each other's? If you had a caffeine tolerance and then had paraxanthine, but then you didn't have a caffeine tolerance and had paraxanthine,
The half-life is totally different in the body. That's what we're trying to educate people with. So when caffeine, you ingest it, it breaks down into theophylline or theophylline, paraxanthine, and all of a sudden I can't remember what the third one is.
is this theobromine?
Theobromine, thank you. And so the dominant thing it converts into is actually the paraxanthine, but it's the theophylline that gives you that zippiness, that gives you the over cracked out feeling. And so you're getting rid of that cracked out feeling when you go 100% pure paraxanthine. But wait, there's more. And I didn't really know this until Sean Wells was explaining this to me. And he actually did it, he talked about it the other day. And the paraxanthine also has a nitric oxide benefit too. And so the nitric oxide we all know for pump, but more importantly than that is it's the brain flow, it's the brain blood flow. You open up the blood vessels, the blood's going everywhere, not just your muscles, not just your dick if it's Viagra, but it's also your brain. So you take paraxanthine and you stack it with nitrogen, which is what we've done here, and citrulline and everything else. Plus we super loaded this thing with 6-gram tyrosine taurine blend. And choline as well. There's a gram blend of 2 ingredients of that.
It's pretty nice dosages in that thing.
It's just a brain flow, and so you don't get that heart palpitation. So you don't.
I thought the two interacted in some way.
This doesn't calm you down. Let's be clear.
Yeah, no.
But it doesn't freak you out to the point where you can't sleep either. And so the whole paraxanthine experience is up and gone within about 5 hours, is my understanding. And then you stack that with nitrogen, which goes to work in 15 minutes and lasts for up to 5 hours as well. So it's like a perfect marriage.
But doesn't it won't? I guess if you gymmed or you took an all-in, 5 hours later, it wouldn't take away from that experience.
Well, no, because you're gonna have the additive effect. Like if you took a Mutant Madness all-in or anything else with caffeine, you're going to have a paraxanthine effect. But usually when you take caffeine only, the theophylline effect is what we get most of in the body, not the paraxanthine.
Interesting. I'm going to give that.
So if you could get rid of your hyperactive, crazed out cousin and tell him to bugger off for like 5 hours.
I do like that though.
Once in a while, on arm day, sure. Sure. Sour peach? Cool. Cocktail. That looked disgusting what you just did there. Mutant, we're a little bold. We're not afraid to call it like it is. Oh, damn, man. That's peach.
That's good.
Wow. No, I like it. Like Cheryl and Kathy and everybody in the lab, they do good
Did you
work.
plan on using the paraxanthine and other stuff?
I think so, because with Sean Wells, who's kind of like the lead public investigator of the ingredient, like you want to learn more about
I thought he was his ingredient, right? Or,
ingenious ingredients.
Yeah.
So him and Dr. Ralph Yager and Kylan and oh crap, I'm forgetting Dr. Number 4, Martin. Sorry about that, Marvin, sorry. I'm really screwed up. We might have to edit that one out.
I only know Sean Wells, so I would have just named one person.
Okay. Anyway, Sean Wells.
Yeah.
No, they're discovering more and more about the paraxanthine, where I think over the next, we don't have to wait 5 years, but I can already foresee where this is going to evolve to over the next 5 years. And there's extra health benefits, not just energy benefits.
Yeah.
So what are these other good parts of caffeine that we're not getting because the theophylline component
Disrupts it all.
Yeah.
To be honest, when I heard about paraxanthine, I was like, this needs to be what's in energy drinks.
Yeah.
Like if we're talking energy drinks, like it just seemed like put it in a pre-workout, like you said, for those who don't want the slap from the caffeine, or those who want, or even a nootropic, but like it seems like what should be an energy drinks, because the purpose of them is inherently to get energy on the go. You don't need a slap in the face to then be brought down, because the purpose of it is to pick you up and have you go for the rest of the day or the rest of the afternoon. I think the only limiting factor is obviously cost, because it's not anywhere near.
No, it's not cheap yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. And the way Sean was explaining about the half-life, and again, we should always ask what the half-life of some of these pharmaceutical level ingredients are. And so the half-life of caffeine is different for everybody.
Yeah, I could see that.
And so he was explaining, and hopefully I don't get the numbers too wrong, but 60% of the population have it last too long, and then 20% are almost like a non-responder, and then about 20% are somewhere in the sweet spot.
I think I'm in the sweet spot because I can take a pre-workout at night, gym at 10:30, get back by midnight, then go to sleep.
Yeah, see, if my wife has a coffee at 1 in the afternoon, she is screwed up. Me, I could drink a whole pot of coffee still in the afternoon after the first pot of coffee.
I thought I was just really good at going to sleep.
You listen to me long enough, I'll put you to sleep, don't worry.
Maybe it's a bit of both. Maybe I'm in that 20% and I'm a talented sleeper.
I'm excited with the paraxanthin because we've been beta testing it anyways. And so a few of us are workout guys, but Brent, who I was mentioning earlier, is super sales guy in the industry, right? And the energy that Brent brings to the company and to our team is amazing. He already naturally has that. But I'm just telling you, I got friends in so many industries, and I've already given them beta tests of the Mutant Mindfuck. And they're like, what is this? Because it's not the caffeine that we're all used to, right? You don't get the jitter. It's not like you're wanting to commit suicide or kill somebody when you're on the phone with them at 3 in the afternoon.
My caffeine experience is different. I don't get jitters.
See, okay, then you're
I'm in that sweet spot.
Yeah, you're in the sweet or you're in the non.
Yeah, I respond.
I just want you to know then there's 4 times the other population that, they're looking to kill people. So you're not one of them? Okay. That's good to know.
No, I'm not.
Shane, not
here to
mass
kill
murderer
people.
in waiting.
Yes.
All right. But Sean Wells doing the more studies on the paraxanthin, and the dose is anywhere between 100 to 300 milligrams per serve. No more than 400 milligrams a day is all you need. So we purposely built Mindfuck because we put in so much more of the other things.
You did.
Like there's more. I go back to that 6-gram combo of tyrosine and taurine, and it's important because most other products only have 1 gram of both, or maybe only 2 grams of both. And it's not about how many grams, it's about what works. And the beta test version of this that we had, I think only had like 1.5 grams originally. And people are like, yeah, it's good. And right before launch, I'm not kidding, like 3 weeks before launch, I'm like, yeah,
You're one of those guys.
Screw this. So I kicked it up to 6 grams and the choline blend.
So the entire office was extremely happy about that.
Nobody was happy.
Yeah.
Nobody was happy. But on the beta test of this new, because the serving went from 17 grams to like 23 grams.
I imagine there's a lot of changes that would have gone in the last minute.
Oh my Lord.
Dose.
There was a
flavoring,
pain in the
printing.
ass. Yeah. And then I want to go into all the details. You want to be in the supplement industry? No, you don't. But when I sent out the beta test to Ron and Brent and a whole bunch of other people, they're like, they noticed the difference from where we were just 2 weeks prior to where this super stack starts to kick in. And they're like, holy shitballs, is this thing ever exciting? So you take it. If it's for a workout, great. I advise people, if you want to get all you can out of a nootropic type pre-workout, the whole point is, and I like to give credit where credit is due. And I grew up in an era where there was a bodybuilder, Tom Platz. And he's very famous today still for going on. Every set's got the potential for 5 more reps. Well, you can't get those 5 more reps on leg day or back day, especially if it's cocaine and crack you're using for your pre-workout. You like that, don't you?
I do like that.
Right.
Yeah, I do.
No, because the authentic thing is, the body goes where the mind tells it to go.
Yes, yeah.
And so we like to say weak minds die. So this gets your mind right, gets you ready so that you can focus. Like when you've done the first 8 or 9 or 10 reps, that's just the warm up. Now you want growth, you got to get that next one, maybe 2 more, and so on. And it is usually mind over matter.
It is.
And I can attest that from back on my powerlifting days. The difference between, getting 4 reps in a set with a real heavyweight versus getting that 5th, maybe a 6th rep. Yeah, it's huffing and puffing for 10 seconds to catch your breath, but it is also the mental.
Oh yeah.
And- So, the taste was good, eh?
It's good.
I said eh.
You're Canadian,
I
right?
know. It comes with it.
You have to say that.
It's in the contract.
And what is it, a boot? What's the other one?
I've never really understood that. Can somebody explain that? The boot about the roof, the roof?
The only person you have to blame for that is South Park.
Yeah, because I say about, and
Because
nobody in Detroit gets mad at me for
They
saying about.
exaggerated the hell out of everything. And even if it's not true, that's
Right.
what I grew up with. A boot.
A boot?
A.
A. Well, the A is real. I remember being in the back of a taxi cab with Sharon Bruneau, Elaine Goodlad back in the Arnolds. And people might not know those names these days, but hey, 10, 15 years ago, those
The
were our
one was
buds.
Buddy.
Yeah, buddy.
Buddy. Just attaching, hey buddy, hey,
buddy,
guy,
there's
hey
that.
buddy.
But we were in the back of the cab and we're just talking. The cabbie turns around and says, "Oh, you're from Canada."
Yeah.
I said, "How did? Hey, we didn't say A." And he goes, "Yeah, you said it 3 times."
There's like a cheeriness to when Canadians, like there's more pop to the accent. I can spot it.
Really?
Yeah. But then when people talk to me, they can't tell it, like, between Australia and New Zealand.
Have you ever been mistaken for a different nationality of accent other than those 2?
I would say 10% of the time, no, 5% of the time, people guess New Zealand.
Really?
I assume because it's not on most maps, as we just discussed.
No.
It's Australia, English. I've been confused with American, European.
Any particular part of Europe where they call you from?
Just, are you from out in Europe?
Oh,
okay. The person who I spoke to over the weekend, the Arnold, he actually was the closest, because to me, the accent that sounds the most like a New Zealand is South African.
Right.
That's the closest from, I would think, most New Zealanders think.
Yeah.
And that was one of the first times someone had mistaken me for a South African, and I was like, that's the one that I think is closest.
See, to me, when I interact with you and our other Kiwi friends,
You got Brent.
yeah, Brent, and
He still got it. He still got that accent.
yeah, it comes out every once,
still got
even though he's been in America for like a quarter century.
Hasn't got anywhere.
But there's almost a slightly reserved way the words come out when you're pronouncing, and then when I'm with an Aussie, I can tell the difference right away.
This is very.
It's louder.
Yeah.
It's like we're gonna brag more, mate.
Yep.
Sorry, but
It's like a little
I
bit.
just had to demonstrate.
A little bit
good
sharper.
man.
It's a little bit.
Yeah.
But then I think New Zealanders speak quite lazily. Like we don't.
It's all the fresh air.
Yeah. It's all that grass-fed
It's all the grass-fed.
way.
Okay, you're driving on the highways. There's the cow right there, grazing on a hill. It's real.
Yeah.
But I see dairy cows grazing on grass in where I live, out by Abbotsford too. By the way, everybody. I don't know. Wouldn't be buying Canadian way grazed on grass? Wouldn't that be a little simpler?
We need the money. Our country.
Apparently.
You know, we got to be.
You have one earthquake and you guys think you're downtrodden or something.
We got 5 million people. We gotta.
I know. I've seen the cows wearing the Rolexes.
We need our export business.
There's not. Listen, you go to New Zealand. You're driving down the highway. You're gonna see a dairy cow, and it's got like a Rolex on the left
Cows.
wrist.
That's what we grew up with. I just assumed that was how all farms were. Wasn't until I went.
Well, same here. I mean, growing up, we're not anywhere near where the dairy farms are. They're another 20 minutes east of where we are. But I lived on 2nd Ave in Huntington, which is a part of Abbotsford. So I hate everybody in Abbotsford. But yeah, the dairy cows are out there. They're mooing and they're out there and they're farting out in the open air.
I had this discussion with someone. It was last year, and I can't remember what we were talking about. I was like, whenever you attach a name to something, it already has the air of exogenous to it. So if I said you could get Hawaiian oranges.
Yeah.
You would immediately say, what's so special about Hawaii? Not that you would think, oh, it's just oranges from Hawaii. You think that there is something to it. So whenever there's something like marketable to it, such as New Zealand Way, it already carries that exogenous, especially in a country that it's not from. We don't buy New Zealand Way. I don't think so. We don't have a choice if you buy it locally. But American brands,
Unless you're buying Mutant Isosurge, and then you could have New Zealand, could have Canadian.
could all come all the way back. But that's what I'm saying. Like it's like again, I don't imagine the appeal of if it's English whatever, and then you get French chocolate in England, and then maybe English milk in France. I imagine it has this appeal of exogenous that you just think it's better, and you might be wanting to pay more.
Yeah.
So I think part of it's just the name.
Yeah. Well, I mean, got to be honest. Works for us in Canada.
Yeah.
When we go around the world, we're Holland, Germany, Australia, New Zealand, everywhere. People that Canadian, made in Canada quality counts.
Canadian maple syrup.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, when you walked in here today, I told you we couldn't use the boardroom. Do you remember why?
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
And you tell them who's here.
Canadian Health Canada.
Yeah, Health Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Shane and I are supposed to be in the boardroom having a good old time recording, and unfortunately, the boardroom's being taken up from a federal inspector who shows up unannounced. This is what they do. So, the quality control here is real.
Oh yeah.
We're a very heavily inspected facility, to be honest with you. So yeah, this is why we've kicked people out of their office space.
And we made sure we got the logo,
We got the logo.
the legacy logo,
All right. Well, I think that we got enough here for everybody to start.
for at least a month.
Oh, at least 5 minutes. Well, and Shane, by the way, you know that shirt.
Yeah, you told me one of 20.
There's only 20 of these shirts on the planet. You can't get this shirt anywhere
How
else.
many do you have left?
Anyways, it was nice seeing everybody. It was nice seeing you, Shane.
I was just curious. I was like, how many did you give away?
We didn't get. Oh no.
You didn't give any
You
away.
got to earn these.
Shit.
Yeah. So
Did you get the coin
I got 2 coins.
that I gave you?
Yeah.
Oh, you did get it. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
Thank you, buddy. I got a sword too.
Yeah, I know, but the sword wasn't from me.
I know.
And you didn't.
I kind of met the Austrian guy who gave it to me.
Yeah. The coin was earned by participating.
Really?
No, I mean,
Well, we only had 1 booth in your space, so how did we get 2 coins?
it was per 10 by 10.
Oh, okay.
So there were 45 coins and there were 45 spaces taken up. So if you had a 10 by 30, you got 3. If you had a 10 by 10, you got 1.
Ah.
You had a double, so you got 2.
Okay. Well, I have some ideas for your area as well next year,
Yeah. I'm
and so
bringing them all together, and I'm fighting for my crew, and I'm going. We all became quite a bit of a tight-knit family.
That's
that
good.
Took part, and they all kind of supported each other, which was nicer.
yeah.
Taking all the suggestions and getting to see what I can come out with on the other side.
Well, I mean, part of what our company and our corporate name is Fit Foods Unlimited, and of course our big brands are Mutant and PVL are the brand North Coast Naturals
And Way Gourmet.
and Way Gourmet.
Don't you forget that one.
Don't forget Way Gourmet. And collectively, they all stand for one simple thing, is we care. And of course, when it's Mutant, we give a darn. When you get the Mutant CEO going on his Instagram account, is we give a fuck. So we care, and my point is that when it comes to the event next year, we've got things that we can do, and it's not just for our own benefit either. Anything we can help to raise the stature of what you're doing, we want to help out.
We're doing everything we can to make that event next year, I think, is going to be, I would hazard to say, this isn't just the stacked area, this will be the entire expo. The people that I've spoken to, I think it'll be one of the most loaded supplement shows. I feel like I'm talking too confidently, but I think it would be one of the most supplement-filled shows in the world.
As long as they're good supplements.
Yes.
All right. Because that's what we...
Jim approved.
No, not you kidding me. That's what we care about. Anyways, Shane, thank you.
No, as always, great to...
And that shirt can't go on eBay. Don't do that.
The shirt's not going anywhere. I own no supplement shirts.
Really?
I switched because they kept shrinking and they lost meaning and whatever.
Right.
So I switched to a bland wardrobe.
We'll enroll you in your very own exclusive.
This is
Shane.
the only one.
We'll give you the Shane Smith Stacked podcast exclusive shirt of the month club.
For 1 month.
It's got a member only, and he's the only member.
Oh, good.
All right. Well, thanks again for coming. Appreciate it. Thanks, everybody. And hey, don't forget to come to the Arnold Classic next year. And yeah, I said the Arnold Classic, but it's really the Arnold Sports Festival. Cheers.